Hey guys, it's Cobalt here, and welcome back to another video. As an LPS customizer, I've always dreamed of being able to have countless amounts of free LPS at my disposal instead of having to spend hours scouring eBay and Amazon for the best deals on bases. Well, that dream is now a reality. For Christmas, my brother and I finally convinced our parents to buy us a 3D printer. I've wanted one of these bad boys ever since they started becoming readily more available to consumers. And because 3D printers are now becoming more and more readily accessible, that also means that they're becoming more and more affordable. Unfortunately, this is just a standard 3D printer, not a resin printer. Resin printers are great because prints come out super smooth and you can't even see these little print lines like you can with a normal 3D printer. However, you can still achieve this look with a bit of sandpaper and patience. The type of printer I have is from a brand called Creality, and what's great about these guys is that they have their very own website full of free downloadable files to print. Thingiverse and Colts 3D are also great websites to find high quality free files. So naturally, with this new technology, the first thing that I searched for was Littlest Pet Shops. Thingiverse had a few models, but the ones that looked like real LPS seemed low quality or hard to print. I did find this super cute German Shepherd, which isn't an exact copy of an LPS but still feels inspired. Unfortunately, when I loaded it into my slicer, it came out very small and I didn't want to mess around with the size settings to risk destroying the quality of the print. I continued my search onto Colts 3D and was met with several more options. However, these continued to be more models that felt inspired rather than exact molds of LPS. These ones also cost money, which is totally understandable because making 3D models is very time consuming. I've dabbled in it a few times so far and it is not easy. However, after changing my search from Littlest Pet Shop to just LPS, I struck gold. I found the perfect Great Dane 3D model for free. Naturally, I got right to printing and began building an army. What's so exciting about finding a Great Dane base is because their bodies are extremely sought after for customs. I have so many loose Great Dane heads lying around because they're too big to make natural looking head swaps on other bases, but this might be my solution to that problem. The model looks super accurate, which makes me think that it was created using a scan of a real LPS. When you download this model, it comes in three parts: the head, the body, and this little ring. The body and the head connect like a ball and socket, and this little ring allows the head to turn. It obviously won't bobble like a real LPS, but I still appreciate that the creator of this model took maneuverability into account. After the print was complete, I carefully removed the pieces from my printer's baseplate. Unfortunately, no matter how many times I printed it, the same back leg kept popping off due to this weird seam in the model. Luckily, this is an easy fix with just some super glue. After assembling the pieces, I sanded down the model and got right to painting. Especially when sanded, the base handled acrylic paint really well, just like any normal LPS would. I decided to paint this model based on the mystery prototype of Great Dane number 1647. This way I could have a cool new LPS and be able to compare it to other fake and authentic Great Danes I own. Before the final comparison, I also decided to experiment with a head swap. I removed the neck plug from one of my loose Great Dane bases and inserted the ring so that it could be attached to a 3D model body, and surprisingly, it works. Now that everything is ready, it's time for the reveal. Alright, so here is the customized 3D printed LPS that I made. As you can see, it is based off of the prototype mystery Great Dane, so I basically just copied the designs as best I could. The colors are not as accurate as they could be, but I think that it turned out super cute, and honestly, from like far away, it's kind of hard to tell that this is not an actual LPS. So the main thing that I wanted to talk about is that I sanded it pretty well, but obviously you can still see some of the lines, especially on the body. Right here where this thicker line is actually where the leg broke off, but I actually just printed another body for this video, and this one's leg did not break off, but you can see that there is sort of a weird seam there, so I'm assuming that is why, because it's not like that on the other side. Also, this is a body with supports. You just basically pull these off and it helps to print the body that is not touching the ground. The main thing about this LPS that is so weird, like being somebody who touches LPS all the time, you know, I go like this all the time, regardless of the fact that it doesn't bobble, it is so light. Like, it is crazy, especially comparing it to an authentic LPS. Like, they have a very specific type of weight to them. This one feels like nothing. It's like as light as a piece of paper. It's such a strange thing because I expect it to be like a regular LPS and it's not. So now that I have these two LPS together, this is an authentic pet. This is the regular one to the prototype, and then obviously here's the 3D printed one. So their bodies are very similar. I mean, look at that. I'd say overall this one is a bit smaller proportion wise, but the bodies are a lot closer together. The main thing is probably the difference in the heads. As you can see, this authentic Great Dane has much more pronounced cheeks and sort of a thinner head, where this one is a lot more round. In a way, it sort of reminds me of the head of the G5 Great Dane that they made, but still more reminiscent of the original Generation 1 and 2. As another comparison, I also have a fake head for the same Great Dane. So as you can see, it's still a slightly different shape. I'll even compare it to the authentic one. I do feel like this authentic LPS Great Dane that I have does have sort of a weird head shape, but even compared to the fake, they still look pretty similar. So that is the main thing that I have to say about this one, is that it definitely has a different head shape. But I mean, overall, we really got everything there. Here's a side profile comparison. But yeah, this one is a lot smaller. I feel like it's also possibly a bit taller as well. And then obviously the real ones and the fake ones, they bobble. This one does not, but it does turn turn it all the way around. You can sort of see this hole here where the mechanism goes in. Here's the little ring that I glued in place and then sort of sanded. This one honestly isn't sanded the best. I have this other one that I sanded a lot better, so that is what it looks like when it's sanded. The main places where it really shows up the print lines are definitely inside of the ears, the bottom of the head where it touches the plate, and then the bottom of the body where it connects to the supports, and then also the legs. I'll probably go back in and sand this one some more, but overall, here is a comparison of what they look like, printed and painted. And then here is the little experiment head swap that I did. So as you can see, there's the ring that is glued into there, and it turns once again. The turning is a bit stiff, so I can't really turn their heads like this. Doesn't work like that. So I'm thinking of possibly going into the model or in real life and maybe adding less connection here so that it's a bit thinner, and then maybe it will move more on its own when I have it connected. So I don't know. What's definitely great about these 3D models is you can download them and load them into your program like Blender and then modify them however you want from these base patterns. So I'm thinking about doing that, possibly correct the errors that these 3D printed Great Danes do have, but I think that they look awesome, especially given the fact that their bodies are perfect, and honestly having a supply of Great Dane bodies is really what I want. But this was a very fun little experiment to make, and I'm really happy with the way that this custom turned out and with the whole idea of 3D printing LPS in general. I'm going to be scouring the internet for more and more 3D printed bases that look like real LPS eventually, but for now we just have this Great Dane. You're probably wondering if I'm going to be selling any of these or any of these customs. As of right now, I probably won't, because while they are relatively sturdy, I am a bit concerned about the structural integrity of the bases, especially given the fact that most of the time when I pop them off of the base plate, one of their legs does break off. So I'm going to also fiddle around with my 3D printer slicer and see if I can maybe make the body a bit sturdier as well. But overall, they are really good quality, and I'm really excited to experiment more with 3D stuff in the future and introduce more content like that onto this channel. So that is all that I have to talk about in this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed. I wanted to make it a little bit more, I guess, professional and well thought out than I normally do. I wrote a whole ass script for all the other stuff, not including this outro. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed watching, and I hope that you guys enjoyed seeing this custom. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye!